Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer, Dr. Fahmi, and also my fellow friends. Today we are from Group 4 who want to present about the case 4 Flight of Fun. So our group member is Hari Haran, Amirul Ashraf, and myself, Muhammad Afif, and also Muhammad Naho. Okay, next I will pass to Naho for next present.
Yeah, thank you, Fifth. So I will present about the introduction of these cases. So these cases is related. The topic of this case is flight of funds. So the Travel Investment Holding (TIH) was established in 2005 and was one of the biggest government-linked public companies, a public listed company. So the nature of and travel related business. In 2006, Malaysian Travel Sdn Berhad (MTSB), a subsidiary for the Travel Investment Holding, acquired 40% equity in Turkestan Global Service Sdn Berhad (TGS) through Memorandum of the Understanding (MOU) and signed by a Malaysian minister and with Turkestan minister. TIH suffered a major loss due to the global economics downturn in 2009. So, Mr. Idris bin Junid, a UK trained accountant, was appointed as a Chief Executive Officer (CEO) on 1st of April 2010 in Travel Investment Holding Berhad. So, the Mr. Idris are appointed for see the cases, to take the charge to improve the company of TIH. So he arranged a meeting with all senior staff management to brief about the company and what is the current issue that happened in TIH. So he also noticed that the Malaysian Travel Sdn Berhad was a subsidiary company.
Allah.
Connection loss.
Fifth, can you share the slide?
Okay.
Rekod balik ke?
Aku yang share screen eh. Alamak,
kau
tapi ada kat bawah tu.
kat bawah mana?
Dia bukan. Yang explanation yang aku tulis tu kan dekat kotak pendek. Dekat
Okay, Hari join. Hari share screen.
Hello.
Hello, Hari. Hari share screen.
Ya.
Nah, Hari ke aku kan? Hari okey Hari?
Okay.
Ada on call lah tadi?
Tak stable connection aku.
Oh. Ni sambung kan? Kerja ni?
Sambung lah.
So continue again because I have a technical problem. So he noticed that the Malaysian Travel Sdn Berhad was a subsidiary company to TIH. Next.
Hari next. Hari next slide. Okay.
So he asked the senior manager to explain about more about the subsidiary company, but unfortunately, the information that given by the senior management does not give a satisfaction to Mr. Idris. So Mr. Idris not satisfied senior management of about the MTT. So during the meeting, Mr. Idris recognized the name of the Norehan, who was his old friend in organization chart of MTSB, was worked as a human resource department. He suddenly calls Norehan and told her that he was appointed as CEO in TIH and asked some information about MTSB from her. So Mr. Idris know that Norehan already left the company in the year 2009. This is because that the company had been established under fraudulent. Next slide. So she also add that the company staff morale had been lowered, the company suffering from shortage of funds, and the staff salary not paid on time. So after got comment from the Norehan, Mr. Idris told the senior staff management to get more information about MTSB and its joint venture business with TGS. So Mr. Goff worked in the TIH since the company established on 2005, and she promoted to become a CFO on 2010. So Mr. Idris asked Mr. Goh, who was Chief Financial Officer, CFO, to send an officer to visit MTSB and investigate what happened in MTSB company. Next. She has the responsibility to manage the uh, has the responsibility to manage the financial of TIH and MTSB. She had looked the document that provided by MTSB regarding of MTT company. She also noticed that the MTSB provide annual audited report only and no other document. Because of lack of resource, she became curious and decided to send someone to visit the MTSB and discuss it with Mr. Idris, who should send to investigate this matter. So Mr. Idris think that and decided to send Agus Bagus, who are the consultant from a big four accounting firm, to investigate about the MTSB. Okay, next. So after the investigation by Agus Bagus, he identified that there only 4 people that working in office. This is because that MTSB has a lack of staff in office. Moreover, he had informal that the additional staff will inform that the additional staff will appoint if necessary. When Agus Bagus asked for relevant document, the management answered that there had not been any document from MTT since beginning. Since the director also don't have any effort about MTT, so the management not concerned about that. However, the management had provided some document to Agus Bagus, which were projected paper memorandum of understand between MTSB and TGS, MTT business model and the financial implication. So Mr. Idris noticed that the scandal was incurred. Agus Bagus tried their best to identify about this scandal and wants to investigate more where actually the money go. So Mr. Idris asked Agus Bagus to identify what really happened in MTT and provide more information regarding of money scandal in MTT. So overall of this case about the scandal money incurred in the MTT because of the lack of the management, and the board of director also involved in the fraudulent activities. So Mr. Idris realized this fraudulent and asked Agus Bagus to get more information and investigate more about the incident happened in the MTT. So next I will pass to other presenter.
Okay, thank you, Nahu. Next, I'm going to present about the problem and the fraud happened in the joint venture business. Which is firstly, Mr. Idris bin Junid has a belief that through this joint venture is somewhat with a benefit with a between friends connection or favorite person. and lack of commercial justification that undesirable consequences, human resource management, EIH had give the clarification on the reason for the company according to the boss had been the had been the CFO of the MPSB director.
Hari, are you okay? Hello?
Hello?
Hari terputus connection ke?
This putus connection. Habis.
Okay, Afif.
We're gonna continue this?
Okay.
Okay, so I will continue Hari part. So in this case, the human resources manager of TIH had give the clarification on the reason for left the company. According to her boss, had been the son-in-law of the MTSB director. So another problem that had determined at the company is the salaries and the bonuses of staff has not been paid since 2007. In this issue, we can find that there is very poor management in MTSB. Okay, wait. Hari is. Hari, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm having some connection.
Oh,
Okay, let's continue with the
okay, Hari. You continue with point number 3.
yeah. In this issue, we can find that there is very poor management in MPSB. So this is because even the management did not have a proper document on MPT Business Corporation. They also did not have a person in charge to observe their business in MPT. This showed that the management did not have a proper documentation of the business joint venture, and also they did not have any person in charge to observe this problem. This is determined that whether the director itself are the one to make these things happen, or it is just an uh, miscommunication with the management itself. So the fourth problem is, rather than that, they ignore from do marketing. This is considered as on a major problem because marketing is backbone of the business. So what show here is MPT business, they didn't have a thought or a planning to have a marketing. So it's very hard to a business going bad or to know to the customer. So some of this activity or this business is actually sort of a holiday or a trip or like that. So please have a marketing especially, but MTT did not do that. If MPSB did not do the marketing, they will suffer for customer. This will make their business down. They also outsourcing their service to subcontractors. This will lead to dissatisfaction among customers because the contractors may not treat the customer well they for sure work based on money oriented rather than service based. So the explanation here, they're trying to say that if MTT do the service by their own, they may give a proper or very good performance to the customer. It may attract the customer to come again. So if they receive this service from the subcontractors, maybe they did not providing a good service, but only based on the money oriented. Maybe they can cut costs and doing a poor service that can make the customers feel dissatisfied. So this will reduce their sales especially. Next slide. According to the case, the director is not aware of the person ignore all the document of investment in MTT. This is because the officer said the director did not inquire about this matter. This showed the irresponsible of the director that may lead to the fraud, which is can link their personal relationship with the opposite party. So what the problem is trying to say is this documentation is very important. Director itself ignore the documentation is also because of their personal relationship. So during that period, actually Dato Shazali had signed MOU with Pakistan government for exclusive right to arrange for the travel needs of business individual along the Pakistan Malaysia Road. Dato Shazali need an expertise for make this plan success. For that, he contacts executive director of MTSB at that time, Yatim Noor, the father of the Omar Yatim, a board member of TGS. Omar approached his father to set up a joint venture between MTSB and TGS. This is how the personal relationship affect or playing a role in this uh, joint venture eventually. Okay, the six problems, which is another important the information that gets in there is if please go to the slide. Okay, another important information that Agus gets is there is no audited accounts had been issued to the shareholder since no any filing made with the company's commission in Malaysia. This is show that the information that given by the Agobagos, that's every year the shareholder must receive the dividend, but here there is no any filing or document that show the dividend has been paid to the company commission SSM. Actually, they didn't report that to the board. So the next problem, which is also get know that the investment is actually a good project by looking at the project paper. Project financial and the minutes of meeting where the boards approved the investment, but all the business activity did not run in a proper manner because they did not have a responsible director and the fund has been misused. The business plan is actually very good and can make a lot of profit and benefit to the company, but the executive did not play well. The plan that they make didn't go in a proper manner. That has actually become a big problem and made the company receive the losses right now. So they have to make this problem settle down very faster to make and can make back the company come back in their business. And next, I pass to my friend to present about the recommendation.
Tak dengar.
Hari, hello.
Hello. Okay.
Hari, can you share your screen? Okay. Thank you, Hari. Okay. So, this. Okay. So, part of recommendation on related party tension, I will explain about MTT and MTSB first. So, first point is the company had connection between friends connected and at or favor friends or favor person who for subsidiaries, they are required to prepare a formal agreement for any transaction being made on behalf of the company. So, according
Excuse
to
me. Sorry for interrupt. We have another 10 minutes.
okay, thank you. Okay, so according to section 21 subsection A, Company Act 2016, it states that the company is a person who liable to sue or being sued by other people. So the person who have control on the company should act to due diligence of the company. Okay, second, all the directors shall use their knowledge, skill, and experience for the interest of the company. So also, if the director break the regulations according to the Section 213, Subsection 3, Companies Act 2016, the director who break the law will be liable to imprison for not exceeding 5 years or fine not exceeding 3 million or both. Okay, so third, board of director of the company should monitor the director activities and their judgment on issue of strategy, performance, allocation of resources, and designing the code of conduct. So according to corporate governance theory, to safeguard the company exposed with the director personal interest decision, the majority of the board of directors should be independent non-executive director who are not have any financial interest or personal interest toward the company and does not involve in the daily operation of the company. So the fourth, the director of the MTSB must be prudent and taking responsibility to oversee the company management. Number five, plan on segregation of duty and assign different person to control finance and authority the transaction. So next, this is about the MTSB and TIH. So we suggest that the MTSB should improvise the relationship with the parent company. It is because the major source of funding comes from the TIH. So they need to build up connection with parent to request fund to support their daily operation business. Also, they can ask funding from the bank, financial institutional, or public to increase their capital. But this option requires a lot of things to prepare and incur additional time. So, number two, we also advise Mr. Idrus to investigate the MTSB regarding the investment in MDT. It is because the funding coming from the parent must be disclosed in proper manner to avoid any suspicious activities to the public which has interest in the who has interest in the company. So number three, we suggest to TIS to take disciplinary action to the director of MTSB. So the disciplinary action can be in the form of fine with certain amount or ask regulation body to put an investigation towards the MTSB's director. The fundraise is related with public money and therefore this is a serious matter and may affect the reputation of the company if parent company does not taking any serious action. So planning for the future of company. So we suggest that the company make a regular turning in responsibility of the director. It is because the director cannot be hold the same position for several years to avoid the bias or conflict of interest to make the decision. Number two, assign a proper job scope to particular responsibility. And number 3, auditor should restrict 3 years for audit company and rest for 5 years before continuing to audit the company, because the auditor may we may rely on auditor too much on making a decision. So the auditor also cannot provide prudence evidence. Okay, next recommendation for employee wages. According to Section 18 Employment Act 1955, employer are given a certain period to pay employee wages. They should ensure to be able to pay worker wages on time. They must have a proper planning on how to ensure their workers receive their wages every month on time. The employer should pay the employee wages within and not exceeding 1 month period. And if the company commit on any offense of this act, will be receive a punishment, which is they will be fined not exceed 10,000 ringgit. Section 99A Employment Act 1955. We recommend to the company to put their employee at priority when making a decision that will affect the operation for the company. The company are fully responsible to allocate their funds properly. This is because the company should have proper guideline in clear down to the task given to the employee, while MTSB should have provide a decent wages in return. Okay, next I will pass to next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Afif. So I will present the next slides, which is this is our recommendation on issue of the documentations. So the first one is the company should record every transaction occur related to the business. All the transaction must be prepared using proper guideline in order to trace the document if any issue arise in the future, especially deal with related party transaction, because the related party transaction is the most sensitive and suspicious account or events to be looked for. So the next one is next slide. Recommendations on internal control. So the first one is MTSB should improve their internal control. For example, they can planning for having a restrict access to financial transactions. It could prevent any easy concealment of theft made by their employees. So it is necessary to assign only several people only allowed to access financial data of the company. So that was the safeguards for the internal controls. The second one is MTSB also can increase their oversight on their employee, which is the purpose to do this is not because the company has prejudiced perceptions on the employee, but it is because to ensure that the work can be trusted and can secure the work is executed properly by the employee. So the third one is the manager can also segregate duties by assign people to responsible on deal with business with MTT. So next slide. So recommendations on insufficient workers. We encourage MTSB to hire more workers to support their operation, because it is one of the important division in the company. Because I can say that MTSB have a lack of insufficient staff. So on that purpose, to overcome the problem, MTSB can offer the position to the fresh graduates or lower labor worker and give them a proper training. So that's the another way to attract people to work with them. Next slide. Recommendation on paid-up capital disclosure. We suggest that the additional of paid-up capital should be disclosed directly to the shareholder in audited reports. Any transaction that had been made related to shareholder must be properly revealed in the financial report to ensure their company in position whereby truthful and give fair view about their financial statements. If not, the shareholder have right to sue the company since it involved their investment into the company. So next, Hari. So we jump to the conclusions. This is our conclusion. As a conclusion, this money scandal incurred is because of weak of internal control and weak of corporate governance to all members in MTT. The boards of directors should take responsibility to monitor the management activity. So the objective of board of directors is to protect the shareholder values. Board of directors should have higher integrity and must perform their fiduciary duty according to corporate governance. So I guess that's all